I've been cleaning up. This iMac was purchased a couple years ago for $59 at a liquidation center. And this one, it's running Mac OS 10 10.6.8. Obviously, it's not going to run anymore because this is the old, the first Core 2 Duo Intels that they had. In the memory, I added a bit more memory, obviously, to 2.5, so it's two 4 gig RAM modules, but of course, you only see 2.5. It's 667 megahertz DDR2 SD RAM, 1.83 gigahertz Intel Core 2 Duo, and that's it about the Macintosh. Now, this Macintosh has been running since I got it from the store, and it was probably running for years. I clean it once a year because it does get dusty. The big thing with this Macintosh, or I should say iMac, okay, is it's really a laptop. A lot of people get confused about these iMacs. They're not a desktop computer. They are a laptop. What Apple does is they put in a laptop motherboard, put a screen on top of it, and call it an iMac. It's really a laptop. That's what this is. It's not really a desktop. So, what they do is, even the arrangement here is very close to laptop. You see the riser cards for the Wi-Fi dongle, the RAM module. It's very similar to a laptop. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that this iMac is bad. This iMac is still good. Even till today, it's still excellent. For basic duties, even light video editing, it's still perfect. The only problem with this iMac, it's the hard drive that it comes with. And it does come in with a SATA hard drive. And I'm going to show you what the screen looks like and what the actual internal guts of the Macintosh looks like. So I'm going to shut down the Mac, or iMac as I should call this. I keep calling it Macintosh, but it's an iMac. So we're going to shut it down, and we're going to take off the power cable from the back. Obviously, we don't want to. We got to be careful. All right, so it's off. I'm going to unplug from the back. It's unplugged. Okay, so we're not going to get roasted here. So we're going to bring this down. And I'm holding it with one screw right now. You don't really need to hold it with 20 screws, okay? So here's what we're going to do. This is attached to the screen. So use this to hold on to it if the screen falls on you, okay? Now, one of the problems with these machines is the screws, okay, are very tight here. There's a lot of protector layer there. So what that means is, when we move to the top here a bit, is the screw might fall in. So you got to be very, very careful with this, okay? What we're going to do is going to pull this cable down here, pull both of them for the screen, so that the whole screen comes out at once. Okay, and we have the screen coming out. Okay, we're going to put the screen aside. I'm going to put it here so it's protected. Okay, we're good there. So now you see the internal guts of the iMac here. Okay, that's what the internal guts look like. So, you have this is a CD-ROM, just to let you know it's not a DVD-ROM. You have the sensor here. The ODD temp sensor is attached here. Sometimes it's attached to the hard drive. The other thing is the heatsink. This is one thing that they really nailed on the old iMacs. The new iMacs are a joke compared to this. The hard drive is a SATA. It's a very, very thin profile SATA hard drive. The connector here for the CD-ROM, Intel chipset, the mobile here, this area down here, two fans, the heatsink coming off from the bottom here. I'm not going to take the actual motherboard out to let you know. There's a lot of plugs that I would need to get to, and I don't really want to do that. In case if something fails, I'll do that. But for now, I just wanted to show you how they lay this out, and it looks very good. It doesn't look bad at all. This looks great. You have your two speakers here, right, left and right. You have your SATA connector going up to the hard drive. And to remove the hard drive, a lot of people get confused about this. You don't have to take anything out. There is a little plug here that you pull. This is a little plastic piece that you pull down for the hard drive to come at you. So you need to use both hands to pull it towards you. So once the backing gets moved, it'll fall right out, just like that. So don't pull it too hard because you got a lot of cabling here. So you pull that out, Get the SATA and the power. And let's see what we have here. So we have a Seagate serial number 9RX67L4X. Barracuda 7200, 160 gigabytes. Okay, that's the hard drive. That's it there. Alright, so that's the hard drive that they added, and you can see it's very thin. One trick here that they did to fool people, okay, now pay attention to this. These pins here are not pins, they're actually screws. So if you want to take this drive out, for example, okay, and you want to put it into a unit, for example, let's see, if you want to get it into a dock, okay, you have to take these screws off, and I'm going to show you right now how this is done. So we'll take that off. A little bit more here, that one's almost out. And they really did a nice neat trick here to get you to not put it into a dock. So what you do is these are actually screws. If you look at the head of them, they're screws. They're not really pins. So I think this is a 10 Torque set. And you remove these like this. Okay? And even that one fell on the floor, but anyways, you can remove it with your hand after. Okay? I'm going to get the other one here so that way we don't lose it. And there you go. So now you can put this hard drive into a caddy, a tray on your computer. Now the only thing is you got to be careful with is you're not going to be able to read the HFS on your computer unless you have HFS Explorer. So make sure you have that before you attach the hard drive to your system, power it up, take it to Windows in Windows 7 or Windows 10 and use the HFS Explorer, and then you can read the contents and get them out of there. So a very, very handy utility, but you have to make sure that you remove these pins, these screws, that's what they are, from the hard drive. If you don't, you're not going to be able to put them into the case. They do that so people wouldn't do that. And they also serve the purpose of the bracket here. They actually fit into a socket that's here, kind of like these screws. Okay, so that's what Apple did. Now, it is branded Apple, just to let you know, so it is made exclusively for them. And you can see it's a very, very thin hard drive, like the actual thickness of it. So that's the hard drive that actually this iMac had in 2009, SATA hard drive. And we'll put it aside, and I need to actually clean that drive up, and I need to put it into my server desktop here so I can get some data off it and then clean it up. We're going to do a reinstall on OS 10. But anyways, that's what the 2009 iMac looks like. This is a 17-inch model. I mean, Apple did a really good job with this thing. It's very easy to repair. Everything has screws, so it's very easy to take out. It's not complicated. Everything's in front of you. Getting the screen out is very easy on these iMacs. The new one, my lord, forget it. You might as well buy a new iMac to do it. It just pops right out. You got screws underneath. This is what Apple should return to. Yes, it's going to make your iMacs thicker. The issue with that, though, is they're more serviceable. So there's less issues with servicing because you don't need a hot air gun to take the damn screen off. Screen comes off easy. Within 2 minutes, you have the cover off and the screen off, and you're in the desktop here. So that's it for today. I just wanted to show you that. And again, now we can update the hard drive if we wish. The only downfall of this, I'm looking for some kind of way to get 2 hard drives going in here. I'm really not sure if we can add 2 hard drives, but if we could in the future, that would be nice. Because we can put 2 SSDs here at the top instead of these ones, right? Okay, and that's it for today. Thanks for watching. So this is the old 2009 iMac. I've never been a Mac person, so this is the only iMac that I actually own, the only Apple machine that I actually own. That's it. An iPhone was given to me. I didn't buy it, so I didn't pay for it. This is the only machine I actually paid for, and it was $59 at a liquidation center. And it still runs. No issues with it. It's at 10.6.8 OS 10, and you can't go any more with that, but that's it. That's my iMac. The only iMac and the only Apple machine I've ever owned, and it's right here for $60. So look around for these old iMacs. They're easier to update, easier to repair. Much easier to work with the internal components. I mean, look at this. This is nothing like the new iMacs. The new iMacs, it's a lot of SMD stuff, almost barely any connectors, so it's very hard to fix. It takes a lot of money to fix this stuff because you need more dedicated equipment. So, you know, a regular screwdriver is not going to work anymore. You need a microscope, you know, and surface level tools. So that's what it is here. So that's the heatsink. You can see the fans where they are, the speakers where they are, the CPU here, chipset. Everything is laid out pretty easy here to know where everything is. The battery there, the connector for the screen. Everything is laid out perfectly. And not very hard to actually work on this machine. But unfortunately, sadly, the new iMacs are kind of a joke to work with, because to remove the screen on a $5,000 Mac, you might blow away a $2,000 screen. Not very good. So at any rate, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this moment from the past. And this thing is still rocking. It's still around. This thing's been running 24/7 for 2 years, and it's been very reliable. Very reliable iMac. Compared to the new ones, I'd rather use an old one. Just more reliable and easier to get parts for. Look at this thing. Very easy to change anything over. Hey, thanks for watching and have a great day.